There we go. Right, good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
Welcome to Zizzis, and maybe it's probably like a 20th seminar to consultants in the last it was a bit longer than that, probably the last 4 months. We've decided to go out and talk to all of you about rolling out the RAC consultancy model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend about 20 minutes going into a bit more depth today about what we do, so you can go out and have a lot more material in your fingertips. Today I've got Milan Patel, who's a fully fledged professional RAC consultant who's out in the market talking to people and helping them with their portfolios and their tax issues and their finance issues. I've also got Mohammed, who sits in an accountancy firm in East London, but has got property knowledge and experience, and he wants to go and help people who've got property problems and help them to excel in property. I've got Nat King. He's an experienced trainer and also has some property experience behind him, and he wants to go out and help people who've got, let's just say, property potentials, property problems, but he wants to go out and maybe talk to a wider audience in presentation form. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cover a lot more marketing material that you guys will need to be. I'm going to put this to me here so you can see me face to my face. Here we go. I hope you can see me. It's a selfie type presentation. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you all three about, if you went out, the type of material that you can be presenting and talking to people about. So this is going to be more of a business to business type presentation about how you be talking to, as a consultant, be talking at people's business platforms, like you're talking to an estate agent, you're talking to a solicitor, you're talking to an accountant, really what you need to say to them to help them get business in and what the advantages are. So I'm going to flick to that, because I think if you're looking for quality business, one of the people that you can be, one organizational type you should be talking to is business to businesses or networks. Now, the advantage of this particular presentation from that point of view is that you will also need to know about talking to their audiences and what you can do to actually help their audiences in terms of meeting their objectives. So in some ways, talking to business, I'll tell you how to go about talking to them. But what I'll also do is I'll also talk to you about how you should then pitch to their audiences, and I'll give you an example of 4 or 5 different audiences now. Okay? So let's just take them audience by audience. So we'll pick on a few different audiences. Let's just keep it very simple. Milan is already talking with tax advisors or tax companies, or he's a mortgage broker before. So we can talk about finance or mortgage companies in a second. Mohammed is sitting in an accountancy firm in East London. So we can talk about their clients and what benefits they can get in some of our services. Nat, at the moment, is actually looking at various property networks, and I might give him a couple of networks he can talk to himself. So let's just say he's talking to people on the more sourcing side, where people are looking for property deals. So you've got 3 different audiences. So let's just cover finance first. Okay, so Milan goes to speak to a mortgage broker. The question is, they say, what is it that you can do for me? You're working for a consultant for Rescue My Properties. They deal with distress, don't they? But we don't have distressed clients. We only deal with people with like really large portfolios and lots of money. So you say, look, we do pretty much everything in finance, but on the odd occasion you may have problem clients who've got a repossession matter or a legal matter. So you could probably offer them a lot more services, but they say, look, we only do 500,000 type services. We may not have a reason for that. So they may be like the top end St. James's Place type of people, and they may not want to talk to you because you're small fry to them. So they probably just say, get lost to you. Is one thing that has happened, where people just think, okay, when you end up talking to them for a year, and they end up think you're wasting their time, and they think you're wasting their time, and it sort of goes back and forth. Now, how do you get business from that type of market? So you're going to get 3 levels there. You're going to get startup mortgage companies. You're going to have one-man bands. They've got their licenses and they just pretty much bread and butter money to try and keep themselves going. They've got maybe 40, 50 customers. Then you got mid-tier. You've got maybe 10 staff, 15 staff, and they provide lots of different financial services. And then you get top end, people who've got they do large complicated work. Now, who's the ideal market for you? If you're not that experienced in actually talking to these type of audiences, haven't got much experience in mortgages and all that sort of thing, just start off small, your local one-man band, just go and talk to them, say, look, this is the type of services we provide, but what is it that you do? Now, the advantage you've got is that the smaller they are, the less they're going to be doing, the more you can do for them. The bigger they are, the bigger quality business you'll get, the bigger deals you get, the more money you'll make. But the smaller ones are more likely to give you business. So let's just say you went to speak to there's a guy called Dilip down the road here in Hatch End. I go and talk to him and say, look, Dilip, we're doing everything to do with finance. Is there any leads that you can get? But we also do sales, we do lettings, we do property management, we do distress work, we do negative equity, we can also do bridging. He goes, well, yeah, because I don't do bridging. Well, do you do development work? Do you do development finance? No, I don't do development finance. So you don't do development finance, you don't do bridging. Do you do unsecured finance? No, I don't do that either. Okay, do you have an occasion where some of your clients need finance quickly, but they can't get it, but they just need a mortgage, but they haven't got enough of a deposit? Well, I do. Okay, how many clients do you get like that per month? Oh, I get about 5 clients like that per month who I can't help because they haven't got enough of a deposit. Okay, so why don't you refer them to me? I'll offer them a free consultation in our head office in Pinner, and we can take it from there. Okay, deal? Okay. Well, he says, oh, well, I don't really know you that well, and I don't know how your quality of service is, but I'm happy to introduce a couple of clients to see how it goes, but I want to come along with them to see how your operation is. So what you do, Milan organizes Dilip and the client to come and meet me or one of our other consultants. There's at least 4 or 5 people in the office who are pretty senior, if I'm not around. We basically, once that meeting's done, you've created a business-to-business relationship and a pipeline. It's really easy. So that's one way, yeah? And just one approach. And that works. I can actually do that all day long and get hundreds of clients. Right, but do you think I'm doing that at the moment?
No.
Okay, why do you think I'm not doing that?
Because you haven't got the resources of people to go out there to bring these in.
Yeah, so I'd rather work in the back office and let other people go out and get them and make commissions than to be doing all that work. But I've got all the leads like that myself. I can literally go out and talk to about 10 brokers and actually get them to actually give me all their bridging leads or their commercial leads. And I've already done probably half of that over the last 10 years. So I've got a lot of business coming in directly, but I'd rather that Mohammed went out and did the same thing, and he'll be able to actually then manage the client, talk to them, create that relationship. Okay, so this is one example working with a mortgage company. Now, randomly, we said accountant. So what are the benefits of an accountant talking to us in terms of us providing them services? I've had various conversations with small, mid, and top-end accountants. Top-end are very difficult to deal with because they're very corporate and compliance is a major issue for them. Mid-tier are very difficult as well because they don't really want to be giving their clients away unless they really owe you well or blah, blah, blah. So the smaller one-man bands, 2 or 3 staff, maybe 5 staff, 10 staff, tend to have a lot of leads. Now, what sort of leads can you get from accountants? They won't really give you leads easily because they are caught up in lots of red tape. But if somebody says, look, if it's something unrelated to accountancy, they're more likely to provide you leads. So if somebody's got a legal matter, they're more likely to provide the lead to you. So if you've got a stock repossession matter or a legal issue that they don't know how to deal with, they'll pass the lead to you. or if they've got issue around possession or bridging finance or development finance, they normally would have relationships in that area, but if their sources can't deliver that easily because they're quite small and they don't have that nous or scalability, then again, you can pick up business easily from an accountant. Any points on that from you, Mohammed? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
Okay.
It's the direction.
Okay. Now, third source is presenting to people that are property buyers. Now, if Nat went out and presented at one of the local property networks, as there's tons of them around now. There's the Baker Street Property Network, run by Ranjan Bhattacharya. There's Manny Chopra's event locally here, J6. There's another one by Giovanni at the Grange Hotel called the Property Circle Network. If you presented at those, the pitches that you would use are to get people in to look at our off-market stock. We get literally between 100 to 300 properties coming in every quarter. So all Nat King will need to do is speak to our senior person in sales and lettings. Her name is Bobby Ladwa, and she'll supply him a list, and so he can go out and say, look, these are the properties that we've got to invest. This is why it's below market value. This is the deal. Are you interested? And to be honest, all the rest is straightforward. They have to put some form of deposit down, put some offer down. They can do their due diligence. We can give them the yields of the properties and the discounts. And you can also say, if you need any help with the finance, we can help you finance them on the commercial finance, especially around bridging or development or unsecured finance. So, how easy do you think that will be to do, Nat?
If I've got the right events where those people are, and I've got the right attitude in talking to them, and they can see that I'm confident and that I have got a good organisation who can help them, then why wouldn't they call just to see if what I'm saying is correct?
Okay, perfect. That's you over there. Okay, so Nat, thank you for that. I mean, funny thing is that Nat and I actually met at an event where I was presenting, we were talking more about all the stock that we've got on offer. So for him, what I'm saying to him actually he would already know because he's seen our presentation. So in this presentation, you've seen how we've managed to attract a mortgage company, how we managed to attract an accountancy firm, how we managed to attract a property network to be able to allow us to talk to them about our services. Now, what's really exciting is you could probably pitch whatever service that they want and they haven't got, but what's really exciting is that you can always pitch to them that you have the ability to actually find off-market property. So the one that Nat would pitch would probably be the one that would be most attractive to start conversations. Raising finance also is a good attraction. Solving negative equity problems, repossession problems doesn't always go down well with most people because they don't want to know anything negative. But if you're talking to people who say, look, we're getting lots of off-market stock, tell us more about what you do, it's a good way of actually striking up a conversation and finding out more about what we can do to help somebody. So I'm going to talk to you about another critical one now, which is estate agents. Now, with estate agents, what do you think? Estate agents are, let's just break it down into the three levels again. You've got a local estate agent with 1 or 2 staff. They've got maybe 30 properties on their books for rentals or lettings and management. You've got another company that does, let's say, they're a bit more mid-tier. They've got 2 branches locally and they've got maybe 10 staff. And then you've got maybe the likes of Foxtons or Connells or like Sequence or one of these sort of larger branch companies. Now, if you go to Foxtons, they'll just say, all right, we've got everything covered. We don't need anybody to actually give us any advice or anything. We've got our own system. So you're going to get zero result with any of the large chains. I've approached every single chain already myself, by the way. There's nothing that I'm saying to you that I haven't tried myself, and more. Then the mid-tier chains would be somebody who's got a couple of branches. They're going to say, well, we don't really need you. We have our own in-house mortgage broker. But there's a 50-50 chance you might be able to break in them because they may not do bridging. And they may have a lot of commercial stock. But until you go out there and talk to them and build up a relationship, you don't know. And they may even have off-market opportunities that they can't sell quickly because they haven't got a large cash buyer base. They may do, depending on the area. But they may have deals like a £100 million hotel. They can't sell just like that, but we've got people in our books with £400 million cash. And they can probably move very quickly. So there may be a bit of a matching exercise with the mid-tier one. But the smaller one with maybe 2 or 3 staff, they don't really have maybe the nous to attract a local broker. So they may be outsourced to somebody in Northampton or something, or somewhere far away. So they may, because you're 5 minutes from there, you live 5 minutes from this estate agent, say, just say, look, I'll come in once a week and meet with anybody who's got a portfolio and give them a free consultation. And we can also help them to raise finance. And they'll say, all right, but what is it that you're going to offer that we can't offer ourselves? If these estate agents are up north and say, look, we can stop repossession within 24 hours, we can deal with negative equity, we can deal with getting finance quickly, like a bridge or something, if you're trying to do a sale. And if they're even in London, I've just had a estate agent I was speaking to recently, in fact, it was a larger size one, it was actually one of the negotiators. He said, I've just had a sale pull out from my feet because the lady couldn't get finance quickly enough to actually finance her house out. And then, because she needed to buy this property in cash because the seller put the price up by 50,000 and she couldn't go ahead. So she needed some financial help with somebody who's with a bit of nous. So that introduction would be very good money for you as an introduction. So from a point of view of material, what Milan, Mohammed and Nat need to go out and actually talk to people, these are very good. These 4 examples of different types of businesses and how you approach them actually could just be your strength. And if you come across as somebody who's actually local and able to help the accountant, the estate agent, the solicitor, property network, whichever one it is, the advantage you've got is that you can just tell them what they need to know about you. You don't need to tell them about all the services we provide because we pretty much provide everything. So if I'm going to an estate agent in Newcastle or Durham, we've got one of our consultants who's based in Durham, just to go in and say, look, we help clients with possession matters, repossession matters. If you go to one in London, you can say, look, we provide bridging services if clients are actually suffering or they need some sort of equity release or some problem like that. We can do all these different things. So that's that. Okay, the other thing is solicitors are another source of clients, but solicitors normally only want to give you clients if you're doing business with them, and they wouldn't really give you direct business easily because there are lots of regulations about what they can and can't do. But they have a lot of clients who are stuck, who need funding quickly. But sometimes they also offer funding as well. So a lot of it is just building up your business-to-business network, and you can get a lot of business coming in. But from a point of view of presenting material, I think Nat's quite keen to go out and maybe do some presentations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus a little bit on the type of material you present to a property networking event. Let's assume that 50% of the audience you get, Nat, in your let's just say in the room is experienced people with 5 or 10 properties And let's assume that all the others are new to property and they just want to go on a training course and just spend lots of money and they want to know a bit more about property. Now, all of these are potential clients for you, pretty much every single person. And I'll tell you why. These are about 10 different pitches you can do for them, and everybody will become a customer. Every single person in that room, potentially. And the only reason they wouldn't become a customer for you is if they're not there. Okay, the way to make every single person in the room one of your customers is ask these very simple questions of all of them. Number one, do you want to buy a property? The likelihood is going to be yes. If it's a no, the question is, do you want to get a yes from them, yeah? Is there anybody that wants to sell a property? Yes or no? There's likely to be somebody that wants to sell, okay? Number three, is anybody looking to raise finance on a buy-to-let, or a residential, on bridging, on development, or on a joint venture basis, or on an unsecured basis, or on a credit card, or get their credit sorted out, or sort out some sort of debt? Yes or no? Probably 90% of the room will say yes to that. Is anybody looking for a facility so they can buy more at 100% funding? Yes or no? The likelihood is yes for that. Is anybody got any property problems they need fixing to do with negative equity? Not many people admit to that, but the answer is that there will be at least, out of 100 people, there will be at least 5 people with that problem. The other thing is, anybody facing a probate matter, or a tax matter, an HMRC matter, or a some sort of litigation matter, which could be anything to do with the title of the property, the lease? The answer is likely to be yes. Maybe about 10% may say yes to that. Then, if you go further, has anybody got a business? There may be 10% of the people that actually run businesses as well. They may have a cleaning company, they may have a Subway, they may have a Kentucky Fried Chicken type franchise, or one of these peri-peri franchises. So what you will need to do is ask questions. But what I'm trying to do is, if you understand the nature of these, for Nat's perspective, if you understand the nature of the clients that we're talking to, whatever material you're presenting will suffice. As long as you understand the nature of them and you give them enough case studies. I'll go into a couple of case studies in a second. So if they've got businesses say, look, are you looking for business funding? Are you looking for working capital? Are you looking for, did you know that we can get you asset finance against your assets? Do you have a pension, anybody in the room? At least 50% of the people in the room will have a pension. Does anybody have a pension more than £50,000? Yes, I do. Okay, if you have a pension, do you know that we can get you 50% of that money that you've got in your pension below the age of 55? We can actually take it out and help you put it into your pension. Did you know that's possible, audience? Yes or no? Nope. Okay, well, come and see me for a free consultation. My name's Nat King, and these are my details. Come and see our head office in Pinner. Meet with myself, and I'll have a senior consultant. We'll take down your details. Blah, blah, blah. Is anybody looking to buy any off-market stock which is not on the market? Yes or no? Is anybody looking for discount stock? Is anybody too busy to look for stock but got lots of money and they want me to be retained to actually help them source stock? Because I talk to property clients all day. Yes or no? I was going to say, actually, this is just the beginning. There's a lot more I can say to get them in. Because the idea is actually to build up a relationship, to talk to somebody who's got a need. So if somebody says to you, oh, well, you know, we've got all these different things about how do you know you can do a better job and all that. But the likelihood is that if you're doing one thing for them when they come in, maybe say it's business funding, maybe pension funding, or maybe stopping a possession, or maybe an HMRC issue, it could be a litigation matter. You'll find that there'll be lots of other things you can do. They may actually want you to help them deal with the asset issues they've got, where the client's got receivers, LPA receivers after them. So, have I missed anything? I'm sure I have, because there's pretty much, we do everything in the property market. So, you just got to be able to talk to the audience in a way that you know who they are. Mm-hmm. And in fact, your scopes of the type of material you can present to them is actually somewhat unlimited. But all the areas that I've covered with you just now are all the areas that we can actually provide materials on. I can literally sit here for about 15 days and actually talk about every single question that I've asked, and actually talk about that business unit and go through all the business areas and actually provide all the case studies and the facts, and actually tell you all the different processes and information you need to be able to close that business as well. But why is it that I can do that and you can't do that? The reason is because being literally working like a beaver, sort of, day in, well, not day in, day out, from literally 8, 9 o'clock every morning, working till 8, 9 every night, maybe 6 or 7 days a week for the last 10 years, just doing this type of work. Now, why is that an advantage for you? It just means that for somebody like Nat King, he doesn't have to go and actually build the platform or the structure behind him. He's actually got to go out and talk to people, get them qualified, and work out which part of his business units can help him. So it's no different from somebody walking into the iPhone shop in Oxford Street and talking to Nat, and they say, look, I need an iPad, I need an iPhone, or I need a Macintosh. So what you're doing is just tell them, when you're presenting, you say that we can help you with all your telephone and PC or IT equipment needs. So we're a one-stop shop. Or do you deal with phone repairs? Yes, we do. Can I get a new screen for my Macintosh? It's broken. I can do that. Can I get an iPad, mini iPad from your shop? Yes, you can. Can I buy 500 iPads from you? Can they be ordered, come in tomorrow? Yes, I can. Can I get them on finance? Yes, we can. Can you tailor make me something from iPhone if I pay you a lot of money? Well, how much money are you going to pay me? We're happy to talk. So the advantage you have is when you go out and talk to people, this is something you wouldn't have with anybody else, is that what we're doing is unique. We're not saying that we are, you're going out and saying that we are helping people with property problems, but we're a one-stop shop. So what you want to do is you want to say that we help people in a very good situation to find good stock and help them to grow, deal with their tax affairs or deal with cutting their costs. If you're in a 50-50 position where things are not looking so good, then what you want to do is you want to tell people about how we can probably assess their situation. So we're in the middle of talking to an organisation now that deals with about 2,000 people who've got negative equity problems. It just so happens that somebody senior in that organisation wants to talk to us about some particular clients. They want to see some case studies. So we're just going through that now. So literally we're going to have 2,000 clients referred to us. And what's going to happen, do you think, when we get really busy and I don't have time to actually meet with those 2,000 clients? Who do you think is going to meet with them?
Are you going to delegate it to?
I'm going to give you guys the leads because I don't have the time. So you're going to be making money, maybe may not make necessarily 10% because it's a head office lead that I normally deal with. But if I think I've got some people that are dedicated, committed to work with me long term, who would I rather give the commissions to? Hiring more staff or giving them to you?
Give them to us.
To give them to you. So that's the potential. A lot of consultants like yourself ask me the question, are you going to give us any leads? What I'm going to do is, if I think you're committed but you don't know how to get leads, I'll help you to get the leads. I'll sit down with you and work out a plan. But if I think that let's just say you want the leads, but you're not putting the time and effort in, you're not really committed, then I won't really bother helping you get the leads either. So I'll help you, but I'll definitely help you to teach you to fish. But if you're finding it difficult, then I don't mind helping you to hit your targets. So you might have a certain amount of money that you need every month to hit to be able to actually survive in your day-to-day living. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. There's a lot more I can actually talk about, but have I covered the fundamental questions that each one of you had today? Nat, have I covered what you needed to hear? But if you haven't, I can surmise on a couple of bits.
No, I think it's pretty clear on what you were saying and what the opportunity for us is. So at this point, no, there's a couple of other things that we'll go into on the question and answer.
Okay.
In terms of the general presentation. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, now, Mohammed, this is the first time you've attended this presentation, so although you did come in, we had about an hour yesterday or the day before. Losing track of time now. What I want to know from you is this the sort of, just to be honest, is this the sort of things that you've understood of what we discussed? Does it help you to actually understand what to actually go out and sell you what you need to sell?
I would like to think so, yeah.
Okay.
Even though it's quite a bit of information to take in,
Yeah.
so many diverse angles. Yes, I would like to think so that, I found some really useful information, really useful.
Okay, because what we do is this is free training. In fact, we don't charge for this, but I just want to give my time to people that actually want to see the result. Sometimes you have nobody turn up here, sometimes you have 20 people, but I'm not worried about who comes in because I'm not trying to do any show here. It's more about I want you to see get the result, okay? Milan, any feedback?
It's good feedback, just learn something new, so could apply that.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, bye.